Hello, hello. Welcome, everyone. Obviously, I'm waiting for followers to come on. And if you are on, awesome. If not, that's amazing too. I'm excited to be here today. I have decided to come and jump on because I kind of wanted to talk about my offerings and how I'm changing. Well, personally, I'm changing the way that I do things. I'm really trying to narrow things down and really focus on one thing. And this is what this video is all about. Again, I'll wait a little bit more. I just made myself some collagen water. I kind of just love now vanilla with water, chocolate with water. It's like my favorite thing ever. It's like so good. But I just bought this it's Beauty Collagen Protein, and I'm really excited about it. So if you want to know more about that, you can ask me. All right. Well, people can jump on if they want, and if not, this will be posted, so you guys can always come back to it. So really what I wanted to talk about is me and if you have been following what I've been doing, awesome. If you kind of don't really, I'm not in your algorithm, I'm basically really focusing on human design. If anyone has known me for a long time, they know that I have been a yoga and Pilates teacher for years and years and years, a movement specialist, body worker, jewelry designer, but I've always been in the wellness industry, and I love movement, and I love inner work. I love self-work. It's like my favorite thing in the world. I feel like last 2 years I was kind of disconnected. I think after the pandemic and after I was just kind of like living and kind of got lost for a second. And then that's how I bumped into human design. Human design was so great for me. And also it made so much sense. And I met my teacher, who's also a 6'2" splenic projector. That's what I am. And it just connected. And I've been deep into astrology. I wouldn't say, hi Nick, how are you? I wouldn't say that I was very, I'm an astrology nerd for sure. I'm not an astrology expert. I'm not going to say that. But I am a human design. I naturally a human design expert. I can read human design charts pretty easily. And I knew that human design can be so vast. It can be so extensive. You can go so many avenues with human design, and I have to figure out what I'm going to do. So I decided I am going to pick the relationship aspect of it, and relationships come in all forms. They come in love, they come in professional relationships, family relationships, friendships. A lot of the readings that I've been doing and a lot of the clients have been coming to me have been asking me about They've been asking me about, I have this issue with my business partner. I don't know how to deal with this. It's really stressing me out. I'm not in my, I'm just not feeling good. Or I want to know a little bit more about my husband and if there's any connections there. So it's a lot of people, when they come to me, they ask me about issues they're having with other people. And that's what's kind of great about human design, because it helps you connect with yourself, and it could really help you connect with other people and accept them for who they are as well as yourself. And the problem, I think, with society today is that we're all just we just need to be in a relationship to be in a relationship. But it's if you're just going to force a relationship, how is that actually working? Someone is miserable, someone is actually not happy, and they're just kind of just being there. What if you found that right connection? Even in professional relationships and friendships, then you'll start to see harmony, and you'll feel at peace. You'll feel your self theme, your signature theme, which is huge. We can even go further into that. But today I just kind of want to talk about me and my human design journey and my story and why I'm choosing relationships, because I'm pretty sure everyone's well, Lori, you're never in relationships. Why am I doing this? There's a reason. So I started human design when I kind of lost myself a couple years for last 2 years. I've always done yoga, I've always done Pilates, I've always been working on myself, but I kind of got disconnected from myself, and human design kind of helped me get back to it. I was so conditioned for like a year, and I was like not happy. I was bitter, I was rude, I was mean, I was taking out on friends, I lost some friends. I, just was a kind of a fuck up. And like, then I found human design. I was like, oh my God, everything makes so much sense. So I fixed myself. I've been deconditioning. I'm still doing the work. I'm still working on myself. I'm bringing human design out into the world. But I knew that human design, there had to be a little bit more of a focus point on what it is I'm trying to provide for my clients. And there's, I could have done business. I could have done, I do the healing aspects of it, and we'll get into that a little bit deeper, but I wanted to do more. Relationships, it could have been, just like cleansing, deconditioning, but I was like, I love love. I think it's great. I mean, not even just love, I love connection. So it's like, why not talk about that? And I do notice that like people do come to me about like advice. They like call me and they're like, oh my God, like I don't know what to do. This is crazy. And I listen and I sit there, and you're either going to get this face from me or you're going to get this face from me. I'm either going to be gushing for your relationship, or I'm going to be like, you need to get the hell out of that. Because if you're in a toxic relationship, that's never going to help you. It's just going to put you in your not self-theme. You're going to feel either, depending on what your energy type is, angry, not self-theme. So a lot of people ask me like, Laura, why are you still single? Or like, why are you, honestly, I had a lot of fucking trauma for like years and years and years, and I was just having fun. And I was just observing. I just like love making connections. I'm constantly making connections. I'm constantly building relationships. I love being free. And like, I was not dealing with my own inner work, which I was doing in the past 2 years. But like, also like for me personally, I'm not just gonna be exclusive with someone, because I'm looking for like the long haul. So it's like, I'm not just gonna be like, oh, I have a boyfriend, then I have another boyfriend, then I have this. I'm like, yeah, I'm definitely hanging out with people, but I'm not like taking anything seriously, because I want to create friendships and build, hi new followers who are in here. I want to kind of like connect with people on that deeper level and see if it's even worth going it, because when it comes to marriage, or when it comes to like serious commitment, like I take that seriously. Like there's no backing down. So that person be ready for me. So which is why it's like people are like, well, like if you're going to be doing relationship, like I'm still observing. I'm observing everyone's relationships all the time. So again, like you're going to get this face, or you're going to get this face. I feel uncomfortable. And that's like my splenic authority telling people like, this shit ain't right. Like this is actually a very toxic situation. And I get like, I definitely have gotten to the point where like I've been judgmental. I have, had my opinions. I'm an opinionated person. And I blame that on my channel 17 to 62, which is the gate of acceptance, but it's also a very opinionated channel. And I'm like, after learning about my human design, and I'm like, oh yeah. And I'm also I'm the channel of the fighter, or the channel of struggle, which is a fighter and the game player. So I like a good challenge. I will fight for what I believe in. So it's like, of course, human design decided to give me those two channels in my chart, which is like highly opinionated, loves a good challenge, wants to play the game. And it's fun. I'm actually happy that I've like learned that about myself, because I always felt bad. I always thought I was like a bitch, or I always thought that I was like too much, which I probably am, but whatever. Now I don't even care. Now I'm accepting for what I am, and either people are going to stay with me or they're not, and that's fine. But my story is that like I was dealing with all my inner work first before I decide, okay, I'm going to be serious with someone, because if I'm not like healed in myself, and that's really what it comes down to with relationships. The first relationship that's the most important is you. That's the relationship with yourself. And if you're not doing that work, there's no point of like sticking around. Like there's no point to like even try it with someone else. You're actually harming the other person. That's like emotional abuse. So in all of the relationships that I've ever been in, I fought for those. Like I've really tried, and like they just weren't on my frequency of levels. So it's like I definitely have experienced relationships, but I've definitely observed more relationships. And what I love about Rahu, he is the main creator of human design, and he has this book, which I have right here. It's the Love Book. It's all about the love gates in human design. And it's all about talking about how, like, when we start to compromise in relationships, that is the most harming thing you can do in a relationship, is compromising. Because you're putting one person in their not self theme because they're compromising a sense of their self to be with someone. And that's like kind of like the hard part of love. Like, love can be so dangerous. Like, you're actually like for me, I found that I was like, all of my last relationships were like ridiculously toxic. Like, they were so bad. It's so codependent. I was fighting. They were like, it was like a half-assed relationship all the time. And so like, it was very just like, I was sacrificing everything to make things work. So I was actually not in my best self. Like, I was bitter. I was miserable. I would take it out on other people. Like, and I'm a projector. So projector's not self-theme, is bitterness. And so like, for me, my signature theme is success. So when I find a successful relationship, you're going to see that best version of me. I guarantee you. And it's the same with anyone. And so when I look at people's charts, I ask people, I sit down and I ask you. And if you know what your energy type is, I want you to like think about this. Like, close your eyes. I just want you to close your eyes right now. And I want you to think, when you are in your not self theme, like, where are you in that situation? Like, who are you with? What location are you in? What project are you doing? Like, those are the questions I ask. And then I ask, okay, when are you at your signature theme? Depending on your energy type, everyone's fairly different. You start to like imagine, okay, like, when do you feel good? Like, when do you feel like your signature self? And then I have them open their eyes and I have them tell me. So a lot of the people who ask me about these relationships, like, so when are you feeling like this certain way? And how can we change that? And so when I work with partner readings, I'm looking at one chart, their chart, and then the other person's chart. And the thing is with human design, we can talk about compatibility, but like, you're never going to be, even in astrology, like, they're like, oh, the most compatible signs. But I think that everyone's compatible with everyone if you do the work. Like, I think that everyone can learn from someone. Love is so universal. Like, you could have the love gates connected, or you can have just like any gates that create success. And maybe that's not love. I don't know. Like, maybe it's like a business professional, like relationship. So it's interesting to see like where your energy collides and where the spark is. And there are places when there's no spark in your charts that's purely dominance. So it's really good to understand you and your partner's chart. It's good to understand and correlate, like, okay, like, where is this energy flowing and why am I so connected to this person? But also look at their chart and notice, okay, like, this is how they are. Your energy blueprint, your human design blueprint is who you are. This is how you came out of the womb. This is your authentic self. This is your conscious self and your not conscious self. So like, why would you want to change someone? Like, that to me is just, and that's kind of why I want to do relationships, because I kind of feel like people just want to be in relationships because they liked the person. But like, does that mean you should be together? No. Like, because half the time you guys are miserable. And I'm not saying like you should argue. There should be some sort of arguments and like embiggerment. Like, that's like normal. That's very common. Like, I argue with my friends. I argue with my family. I even argue with my coworkers. Like, if I'm not satisfied in something, I'm going to be like, I don't like this. I'm setting a boundary. Like, I'm like, I don't like this. I'm not doing it. And I do that with anyone, with relationships, with friendships. Like, I'm like, I don't want to do that. And anyone who does that, like, instead of the other person getting upset, you look at that and be like, okay, they're setting that boundary. Boundaries are here to keep people in safely. They are not here to push people away. That's like so important to understand. Compromise. When we start compromising, we are losing ourselves. So it's really important to like not. If you notice you're compromising all the time, that's basically like a half-assed relationship. Like, one person wants you a certain way, but they're not going to do anything to change. So how can you grow as a couple? Or how can you grow as a business like as a professional partnership? Like, how can you grow as a friend? Like, I personally had to cut a person off recently because we were just not seeing eye to eye, and I don't think there was any. For me personally, I'm actually, she's not, like, I didn't totally cut this person off, but I basically was like, set a boundary. Like, I was like, this is not working for me anymore. Like, I'm just gonna have to back off, because there was no middle ground. Like, there was no, no support on one end, and it was just constantly shut down. So for me personally, energetically, I was like, I can't deal with this. I want to find success in my life, and success in all areas, in business, in my health, in my relationships, in my friendships, with my family. Like, I just want to be purely happy and successful. And I think that most people want that too, but they don't know how, and they don't have the tools. And like, that's what I want to provide. So if you haven't started following Cosmic Design Podcasts, please do. Go subscribe on Spotify. Me and my girl Christy, we just talk about astrology and human design and healing, and we bring other healers on, and we talk about how you can work with this. We want to bring these tools in so that we can create happiness in the world again, because there's so much toxicity, and there's so much conditioning. So let's come back to ourselves, and let's see the smiles. Come on, guys. I want to see a smile. I want to see myself smile all the time. So, it's like, there's a time and a place for arguments. There's a time and a place for challenging conversations. But there is also a time and a place, most of the time, we should be at peace and successful and satisfied and full, right? So I really hope that people come and, work with me. And it's up to you. Like, this is my invitation to you guys, that I have availability. I have some slots open. I am really excited to get deeper into just relationships and helping people. I'm not a therapist, okay? I just want everyone to really know that, full disclosure here. I'm not here to heal your relationship, but I'm here to help you, coach you into making a successful relationship, because I don't think that every relationship should end. I think that there's ways that you can work with it. So I'm here to guide you for that. And that is my sole purpose in this world. And just keep updated at Cosmic Design Podcast. Go follow design.u.hd. You can go to my website, lauralou.com. You can look up your chart on my website. If you have any questions for me at all, please reach out. Love and light, everyone. I'll see you soon.